Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope everyone is doing well. So today I'm sharing how to make potato flour at home. You can use this potato flour to make your low carb fufu, and I'm showing you 3 techniques that you can use to do this at home. You know, when potatoes go through oxidation, they turn black, but today in this video I'll show you what to do so that they don't turn black. So if you're interested, keep watching. So to begin, I'm going to peel the potatoes. The potatoes have been nicely washed, by the way. Even though I'm going to wash it again after peeling, I just think it's the right thing to do to wash it before peeling. So I'm going to do that until everything is done. Once I'm done with that, I'll transfer it into the sink and give it a quick rinse. It wasn't that it was dirty or anything, no, but you know, potatoes oxidize really fast. They start to turn brown because of the presence of starch in it, and at least I didn't want that to start almost immediately because I still had some slicing to do. So next I'm going to start slicing the potatoes, and I'm using this potato peeler, which is the perfect tool for this. It slices them really thin, which is what you want, so it can dry out fast, especially if you're going to be using the sun to dry. You can also use a knife, but please be careful. The best bet is to use a grater, but be careful as well. So I'm just going to grate, slice until everything is done. So for the first method, once I finish slicing them, I go ahead and start drying them out immediately. I'm using a dehydrator, but you can use the sun. You'll have the same result. I tried doing this in the oven, but that thing was a bad idea. It turned to baked potato chips. So yeah, use the sun. It's your best friend. So once I'm done laying them out, I'm going to cover it, set it to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and let it run overnight. If by the next morning it's still not bone dry, I continue drying until it is very dry, until it is kakaraka dry. So this is the next morning. The potato chips are dry. They are kakaraka dry, meaning they are bone dry. But you can see we have quite a number of discoloration happening. In fact, the camera made it look better. It was really kind of dark, but then these are 100% edible and harmless, but maybe less appetizing to some people, not me. After all, we eat things like amala, which is even darker than this, so it doesn't harm. So now I'm going to go ahead, blend it up, and save it in a Ziploc or in an airtight container. So once everything is smooth, just like this, I'm going to go ahead and sieve it to get rid of the tiniest particles. It may not matter, but that's just me being extra. So I'm going to sieve it so that everything is really smooth and silky. You can also use your dry mill to blend this. So this is it for the first method. All you need is the Irish potatoes, a sun, and a blender, and you have your potato fufu. Like I said, this is 100% safe to eat, except for the color. Nothing is wrong with it. The color looks like our regular Nigerian amala color, like plantain fufu color, so there's nothing to worry about. So I'm just going to pack it now in a Ziploc, and we move over to the second and the third method. So for the second and the third method, I'm going to cut them into 2 different shapes so I can differentiate them. For the second method, I'll cut them into rings like this. Even though it's a little bit chunky, it didn't matter because I was using a dehydrator. But if you're going to be using the sun, you want to slice them tinier, or better still, just grate so it can dry faster. So I have finished slicing now. I'm just reducing it because I thought it was too much in one bowl. So next I'm going to add citric acid to the potatoes. Potatoes brown quickly when exposed to fresh air, and that process is called oxidation. Now to fight that, when you add citric acid, it will help lower the pH level of the potato, and then it will not be that black after it is dried. Once I add the citric acid, I'm going to just let it sit for about 20 minutes before I start drying it. Now for the second method, I'm going to slice it this way just so I can differentiate which is which. And for this second method, I'll be using lime juice. So I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of lime juice into the bowl of potatoes, and then just give it a gentle mix so that I'm sure that no potato is sticking to each other, so the lime juice can touch every single one of that potato. So I'm going to let it sit as well for another 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it is now time for me to start drying them out. Remember, this one was the citric acid and the other one was the lime juice. So now I'm going to line them up in my dehydrator and then start drying overnight again. So this was later the next morning. It took longer than overnight to dry, but before 12 p.m. it was dry the next day, and this is it. You can see some discoloration, but not as much as the first method where we did not need to add anything. So this is the first tray, this is the second tray, still looking good, not that black and discolored. The first and the second tray was the citric acid one. This tray is the lime juice one, and as you can see, it's more discolored than the citric acid one. But overall, this lime juice one is still better than the one where we didn't need to add anything, which is the first method. So I'm just going to pour everything into a bowl and blend them all up together. Again, I place it in the blender and blend until it is really smooth. I even prefer using a dry mill to do this so that my blender will not have marks, but thank God you didn't leave any mark on my blender. So once it is smooth, I go ahead and sieve to get rid of the tiniest particles. After blending, this is me comparing them side by side, and I'm sure you can see the difference. Nothing is wrong with the black one, it is just black, but very healthy and safe to eat as well. So yeah, this is it for this video. I'm going to store that in a Ziploc as well until I'm ready to use it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. In my next video, I'll show you how to use this to make fufu, so keep an eye on that. Don't forget to click the like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.